Advanced Astrology Research for Dummies. So, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, an extensive manual for the faculty of Advanced Astrology Genius Wizards. Now, let's be clear, you're not a dummy, yet, as with all truly advanced practitioners, you recognize that the moment one claims complete mastery is the moment Mercury stations retrograde directly inside one's third house of hubris. This manual is intended as a rigorous but professionally grounded companion for conducting advanced astrological research within our beloved faculty. It assumes you can already cast a chart by snapping your fingers and that you converse fluently with your natal 10th house cusp. What it offers is a systematic framework for investigation, experimentation, and a thaumaturgical publication, all presented with the clarity of a For Dummies grimoire. May your studies be ever aligned. Alright. We have a table of contents here. First, I would like to go over magical realism and chart delineation, energetic hygiene, and celestial mechanics for the enchanted mind, orbits, retrograde potions, and the gravity of intent. Advanced chart interpretation beyond the mortal gaze, multi-dimensional house systems, the vertex as portal, and soul signature extraction. Oh yeah, we're also going to talk about the 4 pillars up here. Predictive techniques amplified by enchantment, transits, progressions, chronomancy, Sibley Merlin conjunction method, minor bodies and fixed stars and ritual arts, asteroid goddess invocations, Bohemian star talismanic charging. We're going to get into harmonic astrology and vibrational spellcraft, age harmonics, law of octaves, cymatic sigil generation. Research methodologies for the wizard astrologer, double-blind scrying, statistical arithmancy, peer-reviewed prophecy. Ethics of fate manipulation and cosmic consent, the read of the spheres, temporal non-interference clauses. Appendices, glossary of arcane abbreviations, celestial correspondences, quick lookup, spell index for research enhancement. Alright, so chapter 1 is fundamentals of astrological wizardry. Even Merlin had to start by polishing his armillary sphere. Take the time to refine your foundations and your later theorems won't collapse into a black hole. As a genius wizard, you already possess an intimate bond with the macrocosm. Astrology is not a separate tool. It is the language your magic speaks. The fundamentals revisited with academic intention form the backbone of reproducible research. So we see the 4 pillars of astrological wizardry. The chart is a living grimoire. Every natal, horary, or mundane chart is a mandala of potential. Treat it with the respect you would a sentient spellbook. As above, so below, but verify. Correspondence is the first hypothesis tested every time. Timing is the sculptor's chisel. Planetary periods, dashas, Fridaria, zodiacal releasing are not decoration. They are the causal framework of fate. Research them with chronometric precision. And intent is the conductor. Your own consciousness alters the observation. Acknowledge and collaborate for observer bias. See Chapter 7, The Wizard's Heisenberg. So first off, we have the magical realism and delineation. Avoid one keyword per planet thinking. Mars is not simply anger, it is a sword in the forge, blood in the crusade, the libido, and the surgeon's laser. In advanced research, always map planetary archetypes to their functional signatures across multiple dimensions, being psychological, alchemical, elemental, and narrative. Energetic hygiene for the researcher. Casting 1,000 experimental horoscopes in one sitting can attune you erratically to the local noosphere. Implement a ritual of celestial cleansing before and after each research session. A simple lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram retrofitted with planetary vowels. AUMSOL is sufficient. Alright, so chapter 2 is celestial mechanics for the enchanted mind. Understanding the actual machinery of the heavens, even if you commonly sail the astral in a chariot of semi-precious stones, will differentiate a publishable paper from a flimsy phantasm. Alright, orbital eccentricity and magical potency. Planets at perihelion, closest to the Sun, radiate a sharper, more urgent energy, and at aphelion, their influence becomes diffuse, meditative, ancient. When researching transits, always note the planet's orbital velocity. A slow-moving Mars approaching its venial retrograde station saturates a house with a prolonged alchemical fire, perfect for endurance spells. And our wizard tip here is calculate the planetary speed and apply a multiplier to your orb of influence. And our standard formula is orb degrees equals aspect base orb multiplied by 1, adding daily motion, subtracting average motion, and dividing average motion. For the outer planets, fractal scaling is required. Alright, retrograde potion timing. A common research error is treating the entire retrograde period as uniform. The pre-shadow, station retrograde, and direct station phases are distinct reagents. The stationary moment, speed, being lesser than 0.01 degrees per day, is an alchemical solve et coagula, ideal for deconstruction spells, reframing narratives, or unraveling ancient curses. Your experimental design should stratify data by these phases, not just by sign. Alright, gravity of intent. Modern grimoires ignore mass. In magical astrology, the mass of the celestial body correlates with the collective weight of the archetype. Jupiter's mass implies cultural faith. Saturn's the inertia of reality. For personal scale spells, introduce a proportional representation. A lead talisman, Saturn, versus a tin feather, which is Jupiter, alters the spell's gravitational lens. Alright, chapter 3 is advanced chart interpretation beyond the mortal gaze. So here we transcend the cookbook. As a faculty researcher, your task is to reveal the organizing principles behind the chart, not merely list placements. Multidimensional house systems. Do not stick with one house system out of comfort. For any given research project, determine the optimal system based on the plane of study. So first we see Placidus, which is for temporal unfolding fate, psychological biography. And we go down and we see whole sign, which is for archetypal purity and mythological mapping. Campanus, which is for spatial magic, ley lines, and geomancy. Kulk, which is for midlife transits and soul purpose calibration. So for high dimensional work, overlay at least 2 systems. A planet angular in Campanus, but Cadent and Placidus tells the story of a power that is geographically accessible yet temporally elusive, vital for locating a ritual site. And we see the vertex, a wizard's portal. The vertex and anti-vertex axes is a fated connection gate, often ignored by pedestrian astrologers. In experimental magic, it serves as the entry point for synchronistic encounters and thought form materialization. In our research protocol here is transits to the vertex can be deliberately seated with an engram. Track the appearance of significant persons or events within 1 degree of exactitude and publish. In soul signature extraction, SSE. This is proprietary faculty technique. Isolate the triplicity of sun, moon, and ascendant ruler, then sonically chant their planetary syllables in the cadence of the native's prenatal eclipse season. The resulting harmonic fingerprint can be used to open the Akashic scroll of any chart, bypassing the conscious mind's defenses, requires ethics board approval, and we'll see that in chapter 8. So chapter 4 is predictive techniques amplified by enchantment. Prediction is not fortune telling, it is temporal weather forecasting for the soul. Our faculty elevates traditional techniques with spellcraft. So we see transits and the art of chronomancy. A transit is a temporary ascendant. For research, actively engage transits by constructing a horoscope for the exact moment of aspect perfection and casting it as a planetary servitor. For example, when Jupiter trines your natal Mercury, create a servitor named Zephyrus Scriba. From the transit chart's ascendant degree, task it with accelerating data analysis, measure output. Progressions as the inner alchemical clock. Secondary progressions, a day for a year, already been time. With wizardry, you can tune the progression weight. The Sibley-Merlin conjunction method, SMCM, uses a base frequency of 1 day equals 1 lunar cycle for lunar tracking of emotional tides In your theses, compare multiple progression keys on the same event to extract the optimal temporal resonance. Alright, and solar arc wizardry here. Solar arc directions. Each planet moved by the solar arc in longitude are linear vectors of fate. For defensive magic, calculate the solar arc of a malefic, for example Mars, and seed a counter-arc talisman that exerts an equal and opposite astrological force. Ethical constraints only for self-defense or with explicit karmic consent. Research idea. Conduct a longitudinal study of 144 wizards over a Jupiter cycle, 12 years. Record all predictive statements made under various technique combinations and score them via a double-blind tribunal of archmages. Employ statistical arithmancy, Chapter 7, to determine the most reliable predictive layer. Chapter 5 is the minor bodies and fixed stars in ritual arts. The pantheon of minor planets and fixed stars is an underutilized pharmacopoeia of celestial influences. Asteroid goddess invocations. Each major asteroid carries a divine fragment. For research-grade invocation, this is what we see. Series 1, Nurturance, Cycles of Grief and Return, and a ritual is barley offerings during her conjunction to the moon. Pallas 2, Strategic Wisdom, Pattern Recognition Sigils illuminated during Pallas Station Direct. Juno 3, Coven Bonding and Alliance Dynamics, Charts of Magical Partnerships must include Juno. And Vesta 4, Sacred Focus in the Flame of the Opus, track Vesta's transits through the 6th house for laboratory consecration dates. Fixed stars and Bohemian talismans. Paracelsian star magic is now experimental astrology. The 15 Bohemian stars are living intelligences. For a research project on astral radiation, select a star, for example Algol for protective rage, Spica for abundant harvest, fabricate a talisman at its heliacal rising and measure its effect on randomized potion growth rates compared to a mundane control group. Document the results in Spectrum Astrologicum, our peer-reviewed journal. And deep space objects. Galactic center, approximately 27 degrees Sash, and supermassive black holes are the ultimate chart points. A conjunction of any personal planet with a great attractor, which is 14 degrees Sash, should be flagged in all research as an unknown catalyst. Always include a disclaimer that your linear regression models may be subjected to a non-Euclidean interference. Right, Chapter 6 is Harmonic Astrology and Vibrational Spellcraft. Harmonics are the fractals of the zodiac, unlocking the overtones of consciousness. See the law of the octaves? Every aspect is a musical interval. The fifth harmonic, which is a quintile, 72 degrees, corresponds to the musical third and represents pure creative fire. Design spells using harmonic charts, cast a fifth harmonic chart for artistic inspiration, and inscribe the resulting degree symbols on a quartz crystal oscillator. Modulate the oscillator to 72 Hz and embed it in your workspace. Age harmonics in the Life Symphony. Age harmonics, using the forth and back motion of age points, map developmental crises onto the zodiac's geometry. For ritual design, synchronize initiatory rites with age harmonic conjunctions to the natal angles. A wizard's second Saturn return at age 58.5 is a harmonic death rebirth node. Research into harmonic rebirth regression can reveal past lifetime chart signatures through symphonic analysis. Right. In Semantic Sigil Generation, a faculty specialty, compute the precise degree positions of your chart. Map them to frequencies. 1 degrees equals 1 Hz, starting from 8 equals 432 Hz. For 0 degrees Aries, superimpose the waves electronically and generate a cymatic pattern and a symbol. That geometric sigil is your astral seal. Use it to test whether visual resonance with the chart's own sigil enhances spell efficiency. Pilot studies show a 31% increase in manifestation clarity. Chapter 7 is Research Methodologies for the Wizard Astrologer. Genius wizards sometimes neglect the rigors of empirical protocol because the stars told me feels so convincing. Here we install the scientific method in your thing. Double blind scrying. When testing predictive accuracy, the scryer must not know the querent's chart, and the querent must not know the scribe's forecast assignments. Use an intermediary homunculus or a trusted galibdura to shuffle chart data and deliver de-identified profiles. Statistical arithmancy. Do not merely count planetary aspects and run a chi-square test. Arithmancy requires numerical essence weighting. Assign each planet a Pythagorean number based on its speed, luminosity, and magical class. Pythagorean. Mercury equals 5, Venus equals 6, etc., but weighted by phase. Create a celestial score for each chart and use it in conjunction with semantically robust methods like the I-Ching transit correlation matrix. Peer-reviewed prophecy. Before making any grand announcement of a forthcoming cataclysm, submit your prophecy to the faculty's Vedic Review Board. They will examine your chart, the mundane ingress, and the astrocartography line. If your prophecy passes scrutiny of the 3 oracles, it receives the faculty seal and may be published in the quarterly Prognosticatio. Approved. Replication in the sublunar variable. Spell results vary by geomancy. Your Cinnabar talisman working in Aswan may collect a different field resonance in Glastonbury. Always publish location, latitude, longitude, and telluric current status with your astrological data. Use the standard Astro-Geoenergetic Data Format, or AGEDF. Alright, Chapter 8 is Ethics of Fate, Manipulation, and Cosmic Consent. With great power comes great cosmic paperwork. Do not annihilate a timeline without just cause. All time branches are housed in the Garden of Forking Paths. Pruning requires the unanimous consent of the Temporal Ethics Committee. Never override another being's Saturn. Even a villain, Saturn is their sacred taskmaster. You may petition Saturn via a formal votive to adjust boundaries, but never dissolve them. Honor free will, but understand it's a spectrum. Charts show probabilities. Your research models must include a coefficient of choice. KC, standard KC, equals 0.382 in verse 5 for unawakened individuals, 0.618 for initiates. And karmic tracing. Before initiating any interventional research, healing a congenital affliction via progress ritual, trace the karmic lineage of the aspect. Use the nodal axis and the planet's retrograde cycle to identify if the malady is a dharma debt or a teachable imbalance. If debt, only a sacrifice of equivalent value performed under the eclipse can release it for study. Institutional Review Board of the Akasha. All research involving sentient subjects must secure approval from the IRBA. Submit your chart for karmic clearance. If transiting Saturn opposes your natal moon, your research sympathy may be compromised. The IRBA will require a co-investigator to provide emotional anchoring. Chapter 9 is appendices, my favorite part. So Appendix A is the glossary of arcane abbreviations. We have abbreviations in our meaning. So ACG is astrocartography. AGEDF is Astro-Geoenergetic Data Format. DBR is double-blind ritual. FAAGW is Faculty of Advanced Astrology Genius Wizards. KC is Coefficient of Choice. SMCM is Sibley-Merlin Conjunction Method. SSE is Soul Signature Extraction. VOC is Void of Course Moon, Never Start a Study. And Appendix B is Celestial Correspondences, so our quick lookup for spell index. We have our planets, our day, our metal, our musical note, our element, our research, and our purpose. So, for example, we see the sun is Sunday, gold, D, fire, illumination, vitality, and patronage. Moon is Monday, silver, F, water, psychic, receptivity, population data. Mars is Tuesday, iron, C, fire, assertion, conquering fallacy. Mercury is Wednesday, quicksilver, E, air, analysis, communication, peer review. Jupiter is Thursday, tin, BB, fire, publishing, grants, expansion. Venus is Friday, copper, A, earth, harmony, ethical, collaboration. And Saturn is Saturday, lead, G, earth, structure, citation, and discipline. Alright, Appendix C is spell index for research enhancement. So we see elixir of pure ephemeris brewed under a Mercury-Saturn sextile. Orb of undifferentiated observation, which is a crystal sphere charged during a Neptune station. And the red pin of retrogradation, a quill enchanted during Mercury retrograde. So thank you for watching this video. Sorry I'm drunk and I'm stuttering over myself. Mercury in Pisces. Peace and love. See you in the next one.